Book review: Fever Beach, novel by Carl Hiaasen. Plot summary: Carl Hiaasen's Fever Beach is riotous, razor-sharp satire of modern American life, where corruption is sun-drenched, politics are absurd, and Florida is more than just setting. It's state of mind. In true Hiaasen fashion, this madcap tale is populated by misfit scammers, eco-terrorists, clueless politicians, and one woman who just wants to start over. The result: brilliantly unhinged caper that blends laugh-out-loud comedy with scathing social commentary. Setting the stage: Sunshine State and chaos. Fever Beach, Florida is a place where reality bends under the weight of heat, humidity, and human stupidity. The town teems with conspiracy theorists, corrupt power players, failed influencers, and shady nonprofits. Against this wild backdrop, Hiaasen unspools story of unlikely allies, accidental heroes, and richly deserved comeuppances. The novel begins with Dale Figgo, man so dim he's been ejected from Proud Boys. Not for his politics, but for sheer incompetence, Dale spends his days drifting through Fever Beach, half convinced he's destined for greatness despite evidence to the contrary. One rainy afternoon, he picks up Hitchhiker. Moment of impulsive generosity or foolishness that sets the entire plot in motion. Enter Viva Morales, woman on the rebound. That Hitchhiker is Viva Morales, quick-witted, recently divorced woman who's landed in Fever Beach to rebuild her life. She's renting room in Dale's rundown apartment while trying to keep low profile. Viva finds job at the Mink Foundation, an outwardly respectable nonprofit dedicated to sustainability and civic empowerment, but something about the foundation doesn't sit right. Its mission statements vague, its donors are shadowy, and the staff meetings feel like cult briefings. It doesn't take long for Viva to realize that the Mink Foundation is less about charity and more about laundering money for its founders. Aubrey and Peach's Mink, grotesquely over-botox billionaire couple with too much money and not enough scruples. Twilly Spree returns, nature's reckoner. Meanwhile, Twilly Spree, returning character from Hiaasen's earlier novels, swoops in like an avenging angel. Wealthy eco-vigilante with short fuse and flair for the theatrical, Twilly has made career out of targeting environmental criminals with elaborate stunts, releasing wild raccoons into board meetings, hijacking bulldozers, staging naked protests. Twilly's latest target is the Mink Foundation, which suspects is quietly bankrolling developments that destroy Florida's wetlands. His initial investigations: spy drones, hacked emails, few creatively placed alligators, soon connect him with Viva, who's sitting on explosive information. Together, they begin to uncover a sprawling web of corruption, political manipulation, and real estate scams, all orchestrated under the guise of philanthropy. The Minks and the Congressman, satire at its sharpest. The villains in Fever Beach are deliciously grotesque. Aubrey Mink fancies himself Silicon Valley genius turned philanthropist, though he can't code or count. Peach's Mink, his surgically sculpted wife, is addicted to status and cosmetic enhancements. Their pet project is Congressman Rich Salerno, Jimbro-turned-legislator with zero qualifications and maximum ambition. Salerno is convinced he's presidential material, though he can't name Supreme Court justice or spell bipartisanship. The Minks dark money through their foundation to prop up Salerno's career while simultaneously carving up Florida's protected wetlands to build luxury condos and artificial lagoons. Salerno delivers empty speeches about freedom, family, and flamingos while rubber stamping every developer-friendly bill that comes his way. Cracks in the facade. The investigation heats up. Viva and Twilly dig deeper, uncovering evidence of bribes, shell companies, and environmental violations. Their partnership is tense but effective. Viva brings caution and smarts. Twilly brings chaos and resources. Dale, still clueless, inadvertently captures key conversation on his phone. Salerno bragging about the development scheme while vaping in jacuzzi with Peach's Mink, realizing what they have. Viva, Twilly go on the offensive. Twilly hacks into the Mink Foundation servers. Viva leaks damning files to an investigative reporter. Dale, briefly believing he's secret agent, accidentally uploads the video to his conspiracy YouTube channel where it goes viral. The fault: comeuppance in the keys. As the scandal explodes across social media and local news, the house of cards begins to crumble. The Minks try to pin the blame on each other. Peaches fakes feigning spell at press conference. Aubrey attempts to flee to tax haven, but is detained at the airport after trying to bribe Sal with Bitcoin. Salerno, cornered by TV crew, gives deranged, shirtless speech about lizard people, eco-fascists. In climax worthy of Hiaasen's most chaotic finales, Twilly stages an ambush at luxury groundbreaking ceremony. Drones drop pamphlets with financial records. Activists chain themselves to bulldozers, and swampy sinkhole opens beneath the stage, swallowing the Mink's giant inflatable mascot. Aftermath, messy justice. Justice in Fever Beach is messy, weird, and strangely satisfying. The Minks are indicted, their assets frozen. Salerno is forced to resign and becomes TikTok punchline. The Mink Foundation collapses. Viva, hailed as whistleblower, lands role at legitimate conservation nonprofit. Twilly vanishes into the Everglades, presumably plotting his next eco-assault. And Dale? He starts podcast from his apartment, convinced he's hero. It gains following among flat earthers and alien chasers. Themes: satire, survival. Hiaasen's Fever Beach is more than a screwball romp. It's smart, scathing portrait of corruption dressed up as charity, climate destruction hidden under buzzwords, the cult of personality in American politics, the absurdity of wealth without wisdom. Beneath the wild antics and eccentric characters lies deeply moral story, one that argues for vigilance, decency, and the power of the individual, however flawed, to fight back. Final thoughts. Vintage Hiaasen turned up to 11. Carl Hiaasen has always been master of comic crime fiction, but Fever Beach might be his most unhinged and brilliant novel yet. It's both love letter to Florida and takedown of everything that's broken in America. From fake philanthropy to influencer culture to real estate greed, sharp, timely, and gut-bustingly funny, this is Hiaasen doing what he does best, making us laugh, wince, and cheer. Once, for fans of Squeeze Me, Skinny Dip, or Razor Girl, Fever Beach is an absolute must-read. Book review. Carl Hiaasen's Fever Beach is blisteringly funny, bitingly satirical romp through the steamy, chaotic landscape of contemporary Florida. State that in Hiaasen's hands becomes distorted mirror of America's broader dysfunction. Known for his acerbic wit and unwavering environmental conscience, Hiaasen once again populates his world with an unforgettable cast of rogues, bumblers, crusaders, and con artists. The result is novel that's parts farce, thriller, and socio-political commentary. From the first page, Hiaasen reminds readers why he has become the literary bard of Florida's bizarre underbelly. Fever Beach doesn't just skewer modern American life. It flams it, drenches it in swamp water, and feeds it to the alligators. Hiaasen misfits with mayhem on their minds. At the heart of the novel is Dale Figgo, proud idiot and self-appointed patriot whose claim to fame is being too dumb for the Proud Boys. This is not just punchline, it's diagnosis. Dale's brain is conspiracy-flavored slurry of YouTube rabbit holes, self-mythologizing delusions, and half-remembered slogans. And yet, in classic Hiaasen fashion, Dale becomes key player in exposing sprawling scandal. More accident than intellect. His foil and unlikely roommate is Viva Morales, recent divorcee seeking to reinvent herself in the scorched weirdness of Fever Beach. Practical, perceptive, and emotionally scarred, Viva finds work at the Mink Foundation, philanthropic organization that smells too good to be true. Her instincts are right. Beneath its eco-chic facade lies hub of financial corruption, political manipulation, and ecological destruction. The Mink's Aubrey and Peaches aren't just plastic surgery-obsessed caricatures. They're the grotesque embodiment of everything wrong with late-stage capitalism. And then there's Twilly Spree, the novel's environmental avenger who crashes back into Hiaasen's universe with the energy of pissed-off hurricane. Twilly is rich, idealistic, and prone to theatrical revenge schemes involving reptiles, sabotage, and social media shaming. His war against environmental destruction is personal. He learns about the Mink's real estate grift disguised as environmental outreach. He zeroes him with maniacal glee. These three characters, Dale, Viva, and Twilly, might seem like mismatched trio, but in the hands of Hiaasen, they become the unintentional resistance to Florida's grotesque status quo. Satire with teeth. What sets Fever Beach apart from many contemporary satires is that it never lets humor dull its edge. Hiaasen's comedy is not gentle or indulgent. It's sharp, unforgiving, and aimed with precision at targets ranging from vapid influencers and performative philanthropy to political corruption and environmental apathy. The Mink Foundation serves as the novel's symbolic centerpiece. Slick nonprofit that promises green initiatives, secretly gutting Florida's mangrove forests to make room for luxury developments and tax havens. Hiaasen exposes the way power cloaks itself in moral branding, how corporate language can obscure greed, and how voters are all too willing to elect smiling dunces like Congressman Rich Salerno, dim-witted gym rat with dreams of the presidency and the vocabulary of frat house pledge. Salerno is pitch-perfect parody of the modern political grifter, charismatic in selfies, clueless in substance, and entirely dependent on dark money. His alliance with the Minks creates trifecta of privilege, incompetence, and delusion. In many ways, he's the novel's most tragicomic figure. too dumb to understand the damage he's causing, yet too narcissistic to stop. Humorous resistance. While the satire is vicious, the novel also has surprising moments of warmth. Viva Morales is arguably the emotional heart of the story. Character who feels real grounded and refreshingly human amid the circus. Her resilience isn't flashy, it's steady. She doesn't leap into activism so much as stumble into it, driven more by conscience than ambition. Through Viva, Hiaasen reminds readers that satire isn't just about muck. It's about outrage filtered through absurdity. The stakes are real. Ecosystems are being destroyed. Money is buying silence, and the loudest, dumbest voices are rising to power. Yet Hiaasen refuses despair. His humor, like Twilly's eco-pranks, is both cathartic and defiant. Twilly himself is fascinating creation. Vigilante-driven not by profit, but by principle. His antics are theatrical, but his motives are sincere. In many ways, Hiaasen's avatar, raging against the commodification of the natural world with righteous indignation and just enough chaos to make it entertaining. The joy of comeuppance. One of the great pleasures of Hiaasen novel is watching the corrupt get exactly what they deserve. And Fever Beach delivers. Big time, the Minks, Salerno, and their cronies suffer downfall that's both satisfying and spectacular, complete with drone leaks, viral videos, and symbolic Florida sinkhole that swallows a bit more than dignity. But Hiaasen doesn't wrap everything up in neat bow. Justice in Fever Beach is messy, some villains slip, way others reinvent themselves, and Dale, true to form, emerges convinced he's whistleblowing patriot rather than a bumbling fool. His conspiracy podcast gains followers, and in final darkly funny twist, he's invited to speak at Freedom Fest rally in the Panhandle. This ambiguity is intentional. Hiaasen knows that in today's media ecosystem, facts are fungible and idiocy can be monetized. But he also suggests that small acts, courage, like Viva speaking up or Twilly refusing to look away, can still rattle the system. Hiaasen's stout, biting, breezy, brilliant. Hiaasen's prose is as punchy and lean as ever. He has gift for the quick sketch, single sentence, can conjure characters' absurdity or capture the grotesque beauty of the Florida wilds. He moves between slapstick and commentary with effortless ease, often within the same paragraph. Dialogue sings with wit and subtext. No scene overstays its welcome. And the pacing, like the heat in Fever Beach, is relentless, yet the snappy banter and zany plot twist Fever Beach carries real moral weight. Hiaasen is angry, but he channels that anger into laughter, letting readers laugh even as they wince at how close the fiction feels to our fractured reality. Final verdict, Florida flawed and fearlessly funny. Fever Beach is Hiaasen at his most unfiltered and unapologetic. It's not just send up of Florida. Its fiery takedown of America's obsession with celebrity, tolerance for incompetence, and its disregard for the natural world. Packed with wild characters, righteous chaos, and moments of unexpected heart, the novel proves that satire still matters. And that laughter, when pointed and purposeful, can be its own kind of protest. For longtime fans, this is vintage Hiaasen turned up to 11. For newcomers, Fever Beach offers an uproarious, incisive introduction to one of America's sharpest literary satirists. Either way, prepare to be entertained, enraged, and wildly, gloriously amused.